You're listening to Seattle Real Estate Podcast.
The Boeing staff has been told to empty Renton Longacres headquarters by April, fueling deal rumors. Longacres headquarters, that used to be a horse track, and then it got turned into a massive complex for Boeing, and now you guys got to pack up your stuff, get your box of employee goodies. You got to get out of here because something's going on, but we can't tell you what it is. Mum's the word. Nobody's able to tell the deets on this one, all right? Well, we're going to get into what we do know. Before we do that, if you're new here, thanks for joining. Thanks for joining the Seattle Real Estate Podcast. My name is Sean Reynolds. I own a couple of real estate companies, but I read the news that you want to hear. All right, enough of that. Enough of the chit-chat. I know you're bored. Say something intelligent here. Okay, Boeing workers have been told to clear out their belongings from the jet maker's Longacres headquarters in Renton by the end of March, suggesting a sale of the $100 million office complex is coming this spring. Got to clear this bad boy out. We need these prospective buyers to be able to just come walk through. We can't have you Rona-laden people in here. No, it's not that. It's just it's so much easier to sell anything when it's vacant. Maybe you do a little staging. Maybe you throw up some fake office desks. And I'm kind of jesting because in residential real estate, that's what we do. We set up some fake beds that, are filled with air, and we have fake stuff in the kitchen, fake plates, fake, couches. And they always have little notices say, don't sit on this. It's not real furniture. You don't do that in commercial, but it's so much easier to not have people in a complex that you are trying to sell. Very difficult to take people walk through. And don't mind the employees working here. Employees, keep doing your thing. We're just going to take these prospective buyers through your complex. Head down, keep working. It's okay. Don't worry about us. No, it's so much easier to just clear things out, have things vacant, move on with your lives. Two sources with knowledge of the matter told the Business Journal about the order to vacate, speaking on condition that they weren't identified because they're not authorized to speak about the matter publicly. Everybody has been told to get in there, collect your stuff, and get it out. So dramatic, said one of the sources, adding that several staffers have already gone in and carted off desk items and files. Oh, they're just carting them off. And they have taken them home in boxes, no less. Wow. Just some action going on down at Longacres. Longacres used to be one of those things, cool racetrack. A horse track. Who doesn't think that's kind of cool in some weird, twisted way? You watch horses race around a track and then you bet on them. That's not really my thing. I'm not much of a gambler, mainly because I don't really know how. I've never figured that out. I kind of gamble on the daily because I'm self-employed and I never know if I'm going to get an actual paycheck. Most of the time I do. There are certain periods where I don't. Those are called market downturns. So the whole betting on horses to me has been like, that's really a no-go, but to go watch the horses, pretty cool. That's a pretty cool environment. And then at some point in time, the racetrack got taken down. It got developed into a massive complex, and it's right off of one of our freeways, 405. It's right off of one of our freeways, so you would see it driving by, and I miss seeing the racetrack there. Now it's just a big building that says Boeing, and people are carting their stuff out in boxes. Many people have been working remotely during the COVID-19 pandemic. So they're like, well, I haven't seen my stuff since last March. I've just been working at home. Now, I think most people have their stuff. They're in of the understanding that, you know what, our office situation may change. I'm going to take whatever stuff I need home. I think that's where most people are at. You got any cool stuff on your desk back at the office that you haven't seen since last March? Nope. I think that's what most people are doing. Amazon.com Incorporated might be one of the several possible bidders for the property as it grows Amazon Air and other operations. All right, Amazon? Yeah, I could see that. Totally legit. Besides, Amazon is just taking down office space everywhere. And this is office space. It's not a big, huge warehouse kind of deal. It's commercial. The company, which is subleasing space in Rainier Square, has said it doesn't plan to expand in downtown Seattle in the near future. Downtown Seattle. They're not going near downtown Seattle. I wonder why. I mean, downtown Seattle, where you play the dodge the human feces on the sidewalk game. I don't get why you wouldn't want to do that. It's a pretty fun game. A commercial real estate industry source said there are several rumors about a sale, but added that much of the buzz isn't to be believed. We've got some drama going on here with this commercial deal. This is drama. Do we believe it? Do we cart our stuff out in boxes? Do we leave it there because we can't believe this? Nah, something's going on, right? I mean, it's either already sold or it's about to be sold. We will hear those details later. But deals like this big, they get kind of leaked out over time. And just like with this one, hey, something's going on. Boeing's Longacres property has been targeted for sale since last fall. Targeted because they don't really need the space and they're moving a bunch of their people elsewhere. When the jet maker publicly said that the complex might be sold, but told Puget Sound leaders privately it would definitely be sold because the jet maker didn't need all the space anymore. Just like every other employer that has a whole bunch of space. Going into the Rona, it seemed like a good idea. During the Rona, yeah, with all these people working from home, which a lot of these jobs, I think we can keep them doing that moving forward. How much money can we save by jettisoning some of this office space? Just getting rid of it. More and more stories are coming out on that. Just how many entire floors are left vacant right now. The commercial apartment scene in Seattle is wildly overbuilt for the demand right now. Will that, come back to its equilibrium point? Yeah, but it's going to take a few years. So it's going to be a bloodbath there. The commercial office space, small commercial buildings, those have been selling. Big ones, not as much. Leasing of commercial space, lots of space out there for companies to sublease. That market, yeah, there's a lot of space. Let's just put it at that. The amount of space, and we kind of knew that was happening. That was a no-brainer. With everybody having their employees work from home, so many companies have been like, how much money can we save by doing this? And this is a viable option moving forward. Plus, it's what everybody else is doing. Let's not rock the boat and require our people to come back to work in the downtown office. Plus, downtown Seattle, no go. That's unsafe. Don't want to be there. And I make fun, and it's not funny, but sometimes in that stuff, all you can do is laugh. And that's why I make the jokes about dodge the human feces on the sidewalk. Boeing declined to discuss its plans or what, if anything, it told workers at Longacres. What do we really know about this story? Nothing. We really know nothing. We can confirm absolutely nothing other than it's in play. And that's why I wanted to do this podcast. I could have been like a 2-minute podcast. Yeah, I don't really know any details, and no details are available. However, the Boeing Longacres building, the project, the development, it's in play, people. End of podcast. Thank you for joining the Seattle Real Estate Podcast. No, we're not going to do that. We're going to go through all of the stuff that we don't know anything about, okay? Boeing declined to discuss its plans or what, if anything, it told workers at Longacres, adding that its real estate team is still studying the property. We're rethinking the property as part of plans to cut its company-wide real estate footprint by 30%. What does that do to the commercial footprint of Seattle? It can't be good. No. Bunch of space coming online. Get ready. We're still working through our assessment. We are still reimagining. We're still rethinking what we could do with this space. And I'm making this stuff up here right now. But what we're concluding is that since we haven't used it in a year, we may not need it. That is our analysis. That is our thinking. What do you think about that? That seems pretty solid. Yeah, let's go with that. All right, let's sell this building. Okay. But in the meantime, we're going to buy some time because we're reimagining, we're rethinking what we could do with this office space. Boeing continually assesses the company's entire portfolio of real estate property assets and adjusts the company's footprint as the business environment evolves. That is a bunch of stuff. We're talking stuff now. Boeing Commercial Airlines leadership will remain in the Puget Sound region. Okay, well, we know that. All right. Boeing Commercial Airlines spokeswoman Jessica Wall said in an emailed statement, Boeing Commercial Airlines President and CEO Stan Deal. That is a name. That's a name for a real estate broker. Stan the man Deal. What's he do? He gets your deal done. Stan the man Deal. Go with him. So Stan the man Deal and other top leaders will move to the Boeing Delivery Center at Boeing Field. About halfway between its Renton and Everett manufacturing complexes, other workers will move to Everett, and lower-rung workers will work remotely part of the time, going to the office, here's my prediction, 2 or 3 days. I like the 2 days. 2 days a week. I think that is the accurate prediction, but I could see that float to 3 days for a lot of companies. That's what I've been saying. You're going to go to this hybrid deal where 2 days a week in the office, you get that creative synergy, you get that, that workflow going with your coworkers. 2 or 3 days a week. Last October, Boeing Chief Financial Officer Greg Smith said Longacres may be sold. And the jet maker had already listed other properties in Southern California. They are jettisoning up to 30% of their commercial office space. The real estate review is just one piece of a 5-part effort to improve the aerospace company's complex global sales, procurement and manufacturing processes and activities, including factory site reviews, while it's building far fewer jets because there's been far less demand. Smith said the jet maker's reviews aims to take advantage of new and flexible remote work opportunities. There you go. Plus, they save a crap ton of money on office space that they no longer need. Remote work opportunities that have emerged during the pandemic. Isn't it funny how we all point to the pandemic as creating all this? All this stuff was there. The ability to work remotely has been there for a long time. I've done it but with both of my companies. I did it in 2011 because it made sense to me. And everybody told me, you can't sell real estate without an office. Au contraire, mon frère, you can. It's called working remotely. I went by one of the Compass offices in where I got my haircut yesterday. They've got a lot of office space, and it's in a very nice complex. And I kind of looked in there, and I was like, that's a lot of money being spent on office space that you don't really need. But some companies, they just want to have that big profile and, hey, look at us spending a crap ton of money on our office space. Therefore, we should be able to sell your home faster and better. Right? I don't know. If you believe that, go for it. That's your call. So technologies that have emerged during the pandemic to make more efficient use of our, and what we're talking about is they're talking about to make more efficient use of our square footage, and in some cases, reduce the overall footprint. Get rid of the stuff you're not using. Boeing first bought the 205-acre Longacres campus in 1990. I was just out of high school, 3 years. It subsequently developed 64 acres of the sprawling site, a former horse racing track, into the Boeing Commercial Airplanes headquarters. 2005, though, it sold 10.8 acres of undeveloped campus property to the Federal Reserve Bank of San Francisco for its now Greater Seattle area branch building. Boeing has already sold other property, including a maintenance, repair, and overhaul facility in Australia. That is random. And has also listed other properties in Southern California in a bid to raise hundreds of millions of dollars as it navigated the 737 MAX crisis. Ooh. And I'm not going to talk about that because every single time I talk about the 737 MAX, you know what it was. We get demonetized because YouTube doesn't want to hear anything about what happened with the planes not continuing to be in the sky, 2 of them. Nobody wants to hear about that because that could be considered tragedy, and we're not going to talk about that here. So you guys know the story there. It's been a tough time for Boeing. They're selling some of their space, but guess what? This isn't unique. This is happening to companies all over the United States right now, but particularly companies in downtown Seattle, companies in downtown Portland, companies in downtown San Francisco. And if you draw the correlating events to what's going on there, it's very interesting. So stay put right here in the Seattle Real Estate Podcast because I will cover those storylines further because they're going to keep on going for a long time until they don't. I don't know when that's going to be. That's it for this one. This was a kind of a quicker podcast, but just wanted to cover what Boeing may or may not be doing. We don't know. When we do know, I'll let you know right here in the Seattle Real Estate Podcast. Thanks for being a part. Thanks for listening, watching, whatever it is you're doing out there. Hope you're having a great day. I will catch up with you guys in the next one. Bye for now. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell so you'll know when our next video is out.